Welcome to an enlightening podcast from IslamPodcasts.com. We encourage our listeners to please comment and let us know how we can grow in our knowledge to better serve our community. Please remind your family and friends to also visit IslamPodcasts.com for engaging discussions on current events, Islamic guidance, Quran, tafsir, seerah, and much more.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah. نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهدي الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في كتابه الكريم بعد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله حق تقاته ولا تموتن إلا وأنتم مسلمون وقال الله سبحانه وتعالى في مكان ثاني يا أيها الذين آمنوا اتقوا الله وقولوا قولا سديدا يصلح لكم أعمالكم ويغفر لكم ذنوبكم ومن يطع الله ورسوله فقد فاز فوزا عظيما صدق الله العظيم. Inshallah, in today's khutbah, I will talk about one of the things which is relevant from the time that we are living in. Today, as we know, we are in the third week of the month of June, and a date is approaching which is referred as June 19th, and they call it as Juneteenth as well. A day that is marked in the history of United States as the time when the slavery was so-called abandoned. And it took them hundreds of years to come to this conclusion that there should not be slavery. While 1400 years ago, Umar bin Khattab radiallahu anh, he mentioned a statement that covers it up, sums it up, long time ago, says, when did you start enslaving people when their mothers gave birth to them free? In Islam, you're not the one who are going after slavery, quote unquote, as in general the Western colonialists did, hunting the people down, putting them on the ship and taking them from one place to another place without their any background of they were even slave or not, and then they give birth to the kids who continue to be slaves as well. So let's not mix up with when Islam talks about slavery and how Islam dealt with slavery was a completely different story that was done by the Western colonialists. But talking about Juneteenth, and in reference to what else is going on specifically to the African race, black race, and in general to all the minorities, to talk about the rights, to give them the justice that all the human beings deserve, it will be wrong for us to think, and I'm making it very clear, it will be impossible to get the justice in the system that goes by the majority. Because if the majority is the one going to decide what is right and what is wrong, then it means the minority is wrong. They will not have the rights. And you will end up oppressing people. That's the essence of the man-made laws. And that's not me saying that. That's to be very clear. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَمَنْ لَمْ يَحْكُمْ بِمَا أَنزَلَ اللَّهُ فَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الظَّالِمُونَ. Whosoever rule by anything but what Allah has revealed, they will be oppressors. It's not the issue of how good you are, how good of a person you are, or how good of a community you are, and if you agree upon something good, so good will come out. It's inherent as human beings. We do not have all the knowledge to come up with the rules and regulations that can provide the justice to the people. We have to go back to Allah Azza wa Jal. We have to go back to the Creator of the heavens and the earth so we can provide the justice. So just to say that we can celebrate the Juneteenth or have federal holidays for federal employees that would remove everything what has happened in the past or what is happening today even until now. The George Floyd days when he was killed is not too long ago, about 2 years ago. If you go back and look for the numbers, the number of people getting killed by the cops because of their race is on the hike. It did not decrease after that. As a matter of fact, African Americans compose of 13% of the United States population, while the people who get killed by the cops, 27% of them are African American, which means they have twice the chance of being killed in these circumstances. So I don't have to go into this whole detail regarding how the minorities are treated or can be treated and will be treated. And it's not the issue as a Muslim that we should be thinking of, because we are living in this country, hence we have to go by whatever have been said to us. We have to think of it as we are the carriers of Islam. We are the carriers of the da'wah, of the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, the creator of the heavens and the earth. We are the one who can give and provide justice to the mankind, because it's not we are special in the sense of as human beings, as we're brown or speak this language, or we are white from that area or this area. No, it's because we carry the message from Allah Azza wa Jal, and whosoever carries this message from Allah Azza wa Jal, that becomes special. That makes somebody special. It's not the skin color, it's not who your parents were, it's not what language you are speaking, it's not which location of the world we are from, geographically or whatsoever. It's the ideas what we carry. That is from Allah Azza wa Jal. That's the aqidah of La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. That's the one that makes it. As Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reminds us our task. Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And whose words are better than someone who calls others to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, does good and says, I am truly one of those who submit to the will of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's what makes us special. If we are doing the job what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent us for. And many a times you find this ayah was taken sometime out of context, even though it can mean that as well. That it says, وَمَنْ أَحْسَنَ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ. People translate or try to come up with the tafsir, or the one who calls the adhan. That's what it refers to. And subhanallah, this ayah was revealed in Mecca. There was no adhan at that time. Even though calling for adhan is also calling for khair, calling people towards the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, calling people to come and worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That can be inclusive, but this ayah was not revealed at that time. This is a Makki ayah. And we all are aware of the adhan was established in Medina, when Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was in Medina, when the masajid were built over there. That's the time the adhan was called for. So this ayah is general, talking about the da'wah towards Islam, talking about calling towards Allah Azza wa Jal, to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. That's what it means by the calling towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam had clarified to us that بَلِّغُوا عَنِّي وَلَوْ آيَةً. Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, convey my teaching to the people, even if it's one ayah. Even if it's one ayah. It's not the issue of that the deen of Islam to be carried to the people. You have to finish some schooling or some certification or some degrees or this or that. You have to memorize the whole mushaf. And that's the only time that you're going to call the people towards the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal. Rasulullah said, even if you know one ayah, take it to the people. Subhanallah, how many of the Sahaba, I'm talking about Sahaba, even Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam that we are aware of, who did not even see the mushaf that the brother was looking for in the masjid today, when I came in. They did not see the Quran in the form of a mushaf. That happened in the time of Abu Bakr and Uthman later on. In the time of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that was written on different parchments, it's a piece of skin or a tablet or a piece of wood, and on and on and on. It was converted into a mushaf later on. Yes, it was preserved. That's not the question I'm talking about. It was completely preserved in the life of Rasulullah. It was written in the life of Rasulullah. And we know that there's no change has been made, cannot be made, because Allah has taken the dhimmah, Allah has taken the responsibility that Allah will protect the message, or the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Inna nahnu nazzalna dhikra wa inna lahu lahafidun. We have revealed this book. We have revealed this dhikr. And we indeed are the one going to protect this. So Allah is the one who will protect us. The dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Now, we have to understand our call, that when we hear about the Juneteenth and all those things are happening, so to be the carrier of the deen of Allah Azza wa Jal, call the people towards Islam, call the people to protect them from the destruction that they are getting into. That's our call. Our call should be that. Our call should not be another form of nationalism. We know that the Ummah was divided and destroyed by the very same concept of nationalism. We were made so proud to be Indian, proud to be Pakistani, proud to be Palestinian, or Lebanese, or Jordanian, or Syrian, or Egyptian, or Sudanese, or Ethiopian, or this and that. And now, when we have come to this country, now, unfortunately, instead of taking our kids, taking our families out of this garbage of nationalism, we are trying to say, oh, we are American Muslims now. Even though we do understand that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who made us different. We don't say, oh, we are celebrating Juneteenth, so we don't see colors anymore. We are colorblind. No, we say we do see colors. As a matter of fact, these colors are the ones that make us believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The languages that we speak differently, these are one of the signs from Allah Azza wa Jal, to think and ponder on that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhan nas, inna khalaqnakum min dhakaran wa untha. O people, we have created you from one man and one woman. وَجَعَلْنَاكُمْ شُعُوبًا وَقَبَائِلَ لِتَعَارَفُوا. And we are the one who made you into nations. We are the one who made you into tribes. So you recognize. Not so that we have made you different nations, different tribes. So one thing is better than the other. One group of people think that they are better than the other. No. Inna akramakum indallahi atqakum. Indeed, in front of Allah Azza wa Jal, the one who is more honorable is the one who has the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one who is righteous, the one who abide by the limits of Allah Azza wa Jal, the hudud of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who lives his life according to the commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And not only that, but he calls the others to come to this way of life which is from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. That's what he does. That's what we do. That's what makes us righteous. Because we stay within the limits of Allah Azza wa Jal. We are not the one that we abandon one form of nationalism, one form of patriotism, this Islam or that Islam or tribalism, or I'm from this family, I'm from that family, abandon that, and then when you come to this country, now we say, oh, we have a new identity, because now we call ourselves American Muslims. We call ourselves Muslims. Yes, a Muslim can be from America, a Muslim can be from Pakistan, a Muslim can be from Habasha, can be from Sudan or Egypt or Palestine or this or that. That is allowed. For what? لِتَعَارَفُوا, so you can recognize each other only. We still call Bilal as Bilal Habashi radiallahu anh, the one from Habasha. We call Salman al-Farisi, the one from Faris. We say Imam Bukhari, the one from Bukhara. Imam Tirmidhi, the one from Tirmidh. And on and on and on. Because we understand, even in the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sahaba were called by these kind of recognition, to recognize each other, yes. But at the same time, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam categorically, clearly, absolutely was disgusted by this rotten idea of asabiyah, this rotten idea of nationalism, rotten idea of patriotism that's only used for recognizing each other. So let's, brothers and sisters, let's not be fooled and fooling out next generation to say, oh no, brother, we are American Muslims, so we have to abide by the American way of life. Yes, we are in America, ones who are born in here, or the one who have a nationality, they can recognize that they're from this area. There's nothing wrong with to be called from that you are from one area. But our life, way of life, is the one that Allah has ordained. We have to live by what Allah has ordained. And we call the people towards what Allah has ordained. That's our job. Let's not get messed up and start calling for something that Allah and His Messenger, they hated this. It is something detestable in Islam. Something that you hate, this idea of nationalism. And Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned about this, and this ayah we talk about all the time whenever we want to talk about the unity of the Ummah. And yes, we, all of us understand that is there a brother here? Can we please ask him? I'll ask him. Hold on. So, we understand as Muslims that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed this deen and He united our hearts because of Islam. Before Islam, the very same people, the one we remember them as Al-Ansar. Al-Ansar, the one who helped Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam and Sahaba to establish the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in Medina. These were the people who were fighting with each other for decades. Al-Aws and Khazraj, these two tribes. About them, Allah Azza wa Jal says, وَاعْتَصِمُوا بِحَبْلِ اللَّهِ جَمِيعًا وَلَا تَفَرَّقُوا. Hold on to the rope of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not get into differences. وَاذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ كُنْتُمْ عَدَاءً فَأَلَّفَ بَيْنَ قُلُوبِكُمْ فَأَصْبَحْتُمْ بِنِعْمَتِهِ إِخْوَانًا. Subhanallah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is reminding the Ansar, the best of the generation of the Muslimin. We know that. Them Allah is reminding them. They remember the days that you were enemies of each other. We are the one who brought your hearts together and made you brothers. وَكُنْتُمْ عَلَى شَفَا حُفْرَةٍ مِّنَ النَّارِ فَأَنْقَذَكُمْ مِنْهَا. And you were about to enter into the pit of the hellfire. Allah is the one who protected you. And today, my brothers and sisters, the world is getting closer and closer on a daily basis to enter into the fire. And we have the message. The very same message Allah has protected by Himself. It still exists as is. That message can save not only the Muslims, but the mankind as a whole. So let's not hide this message to ourselves. Let's take this message to the people. Let's not become the ones who are going after the laws of man-made laws that is the cause of destruction for the mankind today. Let's be the one who call the people towards Islam. وَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ قَوْلًا مِمَّنْ دَعَا إِلَى اللَّهِ وَعَمِلَ صَالِحًا وَقَالَ إِنَّنِي مِنَ الْمُسْلِمِينَ. And whose words are better than someone who calls others to Allah, does good and says, I am truly among those who are Muslimin. Unfortunately, many a times, on a weekly basis, as the elections coming closer and closer, we forget about all those things. We forget about we are the carriers of the light of Islam. We are the ones who should be calling the people towards Islam. We forget that we are the one who have the justice. And what do? We start saying, we can get some sort of goodness from other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Na'udhu billah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, أَفَحُكْمَ الْجَاهِلِيَّةِ يَبْغُونَ فَوَمَنْ أَحْسَنُ مِنَ اللَّهِ حُكْمًا لِقَوْمِ يُوقِنُونَ. Are you looking for judgment other than Islam? Jahiliyyah judgment, the pre-Islamic judgment other than Islam is called ignorance. If we are looking for judgment from other than Islam, do we think that can provide better than what Allah has given to us? Who is better ruler than Allah Azza wa Jal? Who's the one who has given the better rules to us than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? We know this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's, my brothers and sisters, let's not be fooled by these silly things and lose our next generation to this man-made system that exists around us, whether here, whether in the Muslim land, unfortunately. We have to call people back to Islam, as Rubai bin Amir radiallahu anh, when he was facing Rustam, one of the generals of the Persian Empire, so-called the superpower of that time. When he was asked, why are you here? You guys have patches on your clothes, live rugged life, have nothing with you. Let me give you some clothes, let me give you some money, go back. For every person in your army. That's what Rustam was trying to do. Did not want to fight. And the response of Rubai bin Amir was that we have been sent by Allah Azza wa Jal to take the people out from worshipping the ibad, the slaves of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and take them to worship the Rabbul Ibad, the creator, the Rabb of the Ibad, of the slaves, all the creation of Allah. وَمِن جَوْرِ الْأَدِيَانِ إِلَى عَدْلِ الْإِسْلَامِ, from the oppression of all other ways of life to the justice of Islam. وَمِن ضِيقِ الدُّنْيَا إِلَى سَعَةِ الدُّنْيَا وَالْآخِرَةِ, from this narrowness of the dunya that people are after, to the vastness of dunya and the akhirah. That's what the Muslims are for. That's what we are for. Let's, my brothers and sisters, let's go back to the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Let's make our call the call of Islam. Not the mixture of Islam and Jamhuriya or democracy or this or that. We are Muslims, the one who submit to the will of Allah, not to submit to the people, to the creation of Allah. And remember that, and I'll close with this. As I closed my discussion last night also with the brothers here, when we were talking about Umar al-Khattab's life, the statement of Umar, and keep it in mind, because we are really living through that statement. Umar ibn Khattab said that we were this disgraced people. Allah honored us with Islam. And whosoever look for honor other than Islam, Allah will disgrace them. وَأَقُولُ قَوْلِ هَذَا أَسْتَغْفِرُ اللَّهَ لِي وَلَكُمْ وَلِسَائِرِ الْمُسْلِمِينَ فَاسْتَغْفِرُوهُ إِنَّهُ غَفُورٌ رَحِيمٌ.
Thank you for listening to this podcast. Podcasts on current events, Islamic guidance, Quran tafsir, and seerah are available at islampodcasts.com, as well as on iTunes. Rate, review, and comment, and let us know how we can grow in our knowledge to better serve our community. Please subscribe, share, and tell a friend about islampodcasts.com.